We are trapped in the game. We are trapped in the game. And if the rain comes down, I'm ready like a soldier. We are trapped in the game. We are trapped in the game. Come on, clap your hands.
All right, welcome. The lady to my right is
Coach V.
Coach V. The man to my left is
Short Fuse.
I am O-Dog the Stat Tech, and you are in the game. Welcome back, folks. It's been a long 2 weeks. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be talking sports with you, and we're going to jump right in. First of all, Coach V, how you been?
Doing well. Thank
How was
you.
your 2 weeks off?
Oh, it was great. I had
Do anything
a chance,
interesting, fun?
Yeah, I had a chance to go down to DC. I did a morning.
Did you?
Yeah, I did a morning show
Okay.
down there, so it was a lot of fun. Me, I'm gonna talk sports, and I'm gonna get it into whatever it is we're talking about.
All right.
Yeah. So.
And Ghost, how was your 2 weeks off?
It was good, man.
Yeah, it's good to take some time off. I spent 2 weeks with the love of my life, my son.
Great.
And it just was a great time. I had an awesome time. We did so many fun things. Sometimes we just sat there and talked. And, his favorite thing to talk about is purple horses.
Purple horses?
Yeah. I said, when have you ever seen a purple horse, young man?
How old is he?
He's 3.
Oh, well, yeah.
And he said, I don't know. Have you seen a purple horse? I said, no. But maybe we can look for one.
Tell him I can introduce him to some 20-year-olds who probably seen some purple horses.
Well, I told him we'll look online. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get started. There's a lot of things going on in sports.
Take him to a college campus. I know they've seen some purple horses.
Watch it now. He's too young for all that. We got contract negotiations, people putting other people's business out in the streets. We got Vegas League champion celebrations. I mean, Lonzo Ball, MVP, Zeke Elliott back in the news. We'll talk about that. I want to start here. I want to start with football because football is the dominant sport. It is the, what do you call that? What's the word I'm looking for? Wait, hold on. Let me get you. NFL football. It's the predominant sport in this country. And I often sometimes wonder why. Because you know me. I love the sport, but I hate the business of football. Okay? I do not like the owners. I do not like the commissioner. I do not like the NFL as an organization. I think they exploit people. I think they use people.
Yes.
I think they disregard people when they're done. And I don't really think they give a crap about people. I don't think they give a crap about the fans. I don't think they give a crap about the players. In fact, I am confident the only thing they care about are 2 things. There are 2 things the NFL cares about. Public relations and money.
Yep.
And they only care about the public relations
because it affects the money.
Because it affects the money. And I will consistently say that. Now, there were 3 guys in the NFL that did not sign their tender offer. Okay? And they're taking their chances. We all know what that means. Most of hardcore sports fans it means they're going to slap a franchise tag on you and say, you play for 1 year, we'll pay you. Okay? Now, 2 of them, what was it? One was Le'Veon Bell, one was Kirk Cousins, and the other one was
the dude from the church.
Cornerback.
The cornerback from the Rams.
Tremaine Johnson.
Tremaine Johnson, that's his name. So,
yes, Rams.
Washington, as Dan Lebatard likes to call them, Washington racial slurs. I'll just say the team from Washington. They put out, their general manager comes out and puts Kirk Cousins' business.
And that's the thing. I read that. Why would you do that?
He put his business all in the streets. Now, hold on. What if it was Bruce Allen, right? And Bruce Allen said, hey, listen, here's the offer that we made Kirk Cousins. By the way,
but
he also...
I like how they don't give you all the information on the offer, though.
Oh, no.
They give you the cursory part, and they make it sound great.
Of course, because you know why it goes? And then, wait, hold on. To back that up, to my larger point, the Pittsburgh Steelers, shout out to Chill, Mr. Keep It Real, his organization is not exactly performing in a stellar manner. They come out and put Le'Veon Bell's business in the street, saying, hey, look, here's the offer that we made. Ghost, do you have the offer for Kirk Cousins and or Le'Veon Bell? Because
I'll find them.
All right. They both basically said, no, we're not playing on this crap.
The Steelers offered Bell 3 years, $42 million.
Now, here's the problem. We all know NFL contracts. That don't mean anything. That doesn't mean a damn thing.
Because the Kirk Cousins one, it was only they offered him 5 years. They only guaranteed him 1 additional year.
Right.
And after that, it was a 2-year deal.
$53 million guaranteed, which he's making 23.9 this year, a.k.a. 24. And he's going to make, if he stays with them another year, he'll make like 34 or something if they franchise him another. So that's like 23 and 34 is 57. Why am I going to take 53 guaranteed?
Yep.
Stop playing with me. I'm not stupid. I can do math.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell, they paid him $12 million under the franchise tag. And the deal they offered, I believe, was, somewhere around, what you said, $42 million for 2 years? Oh, 3 years?
3 years.
So that's less. That's about what? $13 million? That's 12.
Per Tom Perlesso, Steelers offer to Bell included $30 million the first 2 years, $42 million over 3 years, an average annual of $12 million.
Okay, and he basically
said 5 years in total.
He basically said, "Look, I'm gonna make $12 million this year. If you slap a franchise tag on me, I'll make more. So that's $27 million, whatever. Let's assume it was gonna be $15 million next year, if that's in fact the franchise number. But if not, maybe it's higher."
Mm-hmm.
Because every time they slap a franchise tag on you, the number goes up. Yeah, it goes up. Now, my question to you, Ghost, is why would a team, what's their motivation for letting the people, what's their motivation for putting that out in the streets, if you will?
Oh, to protect their image and make it like we gave them a good offer, and you make the athlete looks like he's the bad guy. And because the common person is going to say, man, why would he reject that much money? That's a lot of money to play a game that you love. Why would he turn that down? So it makes it look like he's the bad guy.
You are correct, sir. You are correct, sir. Exactly. So, again, like I've said in the beginning of this show, the NFL cares about two things, money and public relations, and they only care about the public relations because it affects the money. So what they're trying to do is paint these guys out to be greedy athletes, make them look bad.
Yep.
And I don't like that. It ticks me off because, like you said, and I'm going to say it right now. Coach V, I'm going to say it right now.
Say it.
A lot of fans are stupid.
Okay.
A lot of fans are not educated. Mm-hmm. A lot of fans, they think they know the game, but they don't really understand the business behind the game. Mm-hmm. They see players and they say, well, he's over $12 million to play a kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kirk Cousins over $23 million to play a kid's game. No, folks. Let me tell you something. This ain't a kid's game anymore. This is big business. This is big business. And what I never understand, Ghost, is why in America, what a country, America, land of the free, home of the brave, right? Where you can achieve the American dream, and we all want more. We all want a better job. We all want to make more money. We all want to have a quality of life.
But you don't want the person who's already supposedly rich to get more. People are haters.
Okay. Let's go with that for a second, Ghost. If that is in fact true, then why is it okay for the owners to keep the money?
Because people have been brainwashed and led to believe that people who already got money and owners and people you work for are always correct and they should get more. So because we are programmed to be employees and not
owners.
Yes.
But see, that's what I don't understand, and that's the part that bothers me, and that's the part that ticks me off, is the ignorance of people. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you don't understand the business behind it, I'm talking directly to you.
If a team can give you 50, 60, 100 million dollars,
how much are they making?
They're making over 200 million off you. They're not giving you over 50% of what they're making off you.
It applies
let's keep it real.
Good. It applies in basketball too, because when you think about the salary cap, what was the decrease in value when LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Oh man, and value in the organization?
Yeah.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, right? And then it went right back up
when he came back.
And to that point, the Houston Rockets have just been put up for sale, Ghost. The owner, I don't know his name, but he bought him for $85 million in, I think it was 93. $85 million. Now, $85 million.
Unless he wanted about 1.3 billion.
Hold on. $85 million. I want you to think about that. $85 million is a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially in 83.
Coach V, $85 million, a lot of money, right?
As far as I know.
Last time I checked, I don't have $85 million lying around in the bank.
Not me.
You know what he's trying to sell that for?
1.3 billion.
I've heard he may get as high as 1.9.
Well, the market was set when the Clippers were bought.
Bingo. What they sell for 1.2?
1.2.
So
he's saying that Houston is a bigger franchise than the LA market team
he's saying that
by $600 million.
Listen, first of all, I want people. I always tell people this: when you think about 1.3 billion, you got to understand what that means. That's 100 million. 100 million, 100 million, 100 million. That's $999 million.
That's 100 million 10 times.
900. No, nine. Let's see. You got. For me, I like to break it down. That's $999 million plus another million.
Carry the one.
And that's $1 billion.
And then you got to add another 200 million to it.
There you go. And he bought it for $85 million.
Talk about an
great investment.
Now, one of the guys that they talked about, I heard them say that who wanted
look at
to
Jerry
buy.
Jones. He bought the Cowboys for?
No, I don't know.
140 million, something like
What
that.
is it worth? Like
Because he bought that in the stadium.
Yeah.
So now it's worth like 4.2 billion. I think
It's
it was
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But somehow it's okay for the owners to continue to keep making money hand over fist. Robert Kraft, Gillette Stadium, give me all the money. I don't want to pay nobody.
We've been taught. People have been brainwashed to believe that the owners are right.
But why? Do you have an idea as to why? What is the reason that people oftentimes, and sometimes more often than not, why, Coach V, give me
the same reason why people don't want McDonald's employees making $15 an hour.
Why?
Because they think, because my food's gonna go up and the company can't afford to pay that fee when they're making billions of dollars a year. That's why.
All right, let me put it to you like this.
More people side with the organization or the company than they side with the regular person.
Let me put this to you like this, Ghost. And I've had this conversation with a buddy of mine. Shout out to Kel Jack. If somebody came in here and said, look, whoever makes it to that door first, touches the doorknob, can have $600,000. You know what I'd say? Why don't we all walk over there together, touching, and each of us take $200,000? I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, well, that
We a
worked.
team, right?
I still had 200,000 more than I had before.
Thank you, right? But see, it's like this weird sort of dichotomy because the American dream is a fantasy to me, in my mind. They get you to buy into the. Hey, listen, when you get rich.
No, they get you to buy into it so you can keep the system going.
No, right. When you get rich, you don't want nobody taking your money, right? When you get rich, you don't want nobody taking your money, right? When I get rich, hey, look, I don't want any higher taxes that I have to pay. I don't want any. Let me tell you something, folks. God's honest truth. Most of you folks out there are not going to be rich. You're going to work like the rest of us. We're going to work jobs.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Nothing wrong with that. You're going to raise your family. You're going to raise your kids. You're going to have a nice life. I wish you nothing but the best.
You're the common person keeps the system going.
But it's
based
based
we live
on
in perpetual
a false
debt.
Right. But it's based on a false belief. Like, wait.
Everybody can be rich.
Right. Which is really not true.
No, because everybody can't be a boss. Somebody got to be a worker.
Thank you. And so, see, my thing, you know me, I'm always pro-labor. Why aren't more people behind the athletes? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to make it controversial.
Most of them jealous because they can't be the athlete.
Okay. Coach V?
And then I want to say the other reason.
No, I'll say the other reason. I'm going to say it. But let's start with that. Coach V, do you think, you're an educated woman, do you think it's because they're a jealousy?
I think I'm pretty sure jealousy has something to do with it. You know, they have something that you don't. I joke a lot of times. I say, I was born it's too bad I wasn't born a guy. I said, because I would definitely, my situation would be different in terms of sports, in terms of the revenue sports that I could have played. But then also, that's just, crazy thinking. At the same time that I say that, I realized that the profession that I chose, I could have chose any profession,
right,
and decided to work towards it. But the profession that I chose, based on all the other things that I looked at works for me. And like I always tell anybody that teaches knows you're not going to be rich. That's not what you do it for. I mean, you hope you make a decent salary and whatever, because I just been reading where all these educators in different states are saying like, oh, they only make $34,000. People at the QT Mart make more and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I hate to be that person, but we all had choices. At whatever time we started to decide what we want to do, we all had a choice to decide what we wanted to do. So I don't get mad at the QT person that makes that money. I'm like, look here, if that helps you afford your lifestyle, go ahead.
And in large part, I agree with you. And there's a larger sort of social issue as to why we pay guys that go out there and play baseball, or guys that go out there and play basketball, and men that go out there and play football more than we pay the human beings that educate our children and our society. I mean, we could stay here all night. Shoot, I'll talk about it all damn night, because that is a hot button issue for me, because I say, look, where are our values as a society? You know,
we don't pay the people that teach the genius to be geniuses.
And you know, LeBron James is fortunate enough. Is fortunate enough to have been born with a level, a size, and a skill and an ability. But not everybody's LeBron James. So why don't we? You know, as they say, what's the phrase? A rising tide raises all boats. So that means if
the boat got a hole in it.
Well, I mean, some boats gonna have holes, but generally speaking,
Titanic.
Yes.
If you raise everybody up, we'll all do better as a society.
Right.
But people want the owners to do better than the players. When meanwhile, it fascinates me that the players are the ones that are putting in their hard work, their sweat, their blood, their tears, risking their lives out there in football especially. Maybe not so much in basketball and baseball. I get it. But in football, that's like a do or die sport. I mean, you could really, I don't know, Ghost, you remember Darryl Stingley? Guy who got paralyzed from the neck down off a hit, landed on his neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
And granted, it does, but Dennis Bird happened to Dennis Bird.
For the Jets.
So these guys, you know, they're risking their lives, their family time, you know, and they're giving up a lot to get out there and earn it, but people don't want to be compensated for it.
And they don't even want to think about it. They think, oh, like I said, they think, oh, well, Bell should just, he's getting $12 million anyway for this. He should be happy signing the franchise. No, he shouldn't.
And see, that's
what if he blows his, and this is the cycle that you're being. These players, even Kirk Cousins, go out there, Bell, Tremaine Johnson, they go out there, they play for this 1 year. They get injured. Now, next year they try to come get a sign. Yeah, we got to give you a prove-it deal now to make sure you're healthy. So now we're not even going to give you the big sign. Now you get a 1 year deal for like $3 million and prove that you can get the big contract. And no, it is a system set up so the teams can keep their star players without and hold the salaries down of these people.
And who wants their salary held down? Because I'm going to be the first to say not me.
No, nobody does.
There's not one person in this country that's working every day, gets up and goes to work, that doesn't want a raise. That wouldn't take a quarter raise. They'd take a nickel if you can get it. You know, nobody out there is saying, well, hey, you know what you should do is put a cap on my salary.
You're messing up my fandom.
Well, my salary basically has a cap on it.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm only going to make... I am at the top of my pay scale.
Okay.
Now, the only way it's going to go...
But you didn't ask for that.
No. And the only way it's going to go up is if it's collectively bargained so that we get more. Like, it's already collectively bargained that we get longevity, so that every year I get maybe an extra $500.
Okay.
But as far as like someone who's in corporate America who could possibly negotiate, get that next contract, or maybe through bonuses get more, that's never going to happen for me. But that's something I knew going in. And unfortunately, with the sport of football, where you have a hard salary cap, that's what you're going to face, where salaries are contained. Whereas you have sports that don't have a salary cap, let's just say, like for instance, soccer. There is it's basically all free agency all the time.
Isn't this the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we should be able, each human being should go out there and earn to what they're capable of? You as a teacher, me as an attorney, Ghost as a chemist, we should all be able to go out there and say, hey, look, I have value. LeBron James has value to those people that show up every night, and for 18,000 fans. Ask those people how much value he had when they won that championship. LeBron James is underpaid, folks. I hate to tell you.
LeBron James made a lot of other players money. He made Dellavedova money.
He made a lot of players money. Not only that,
a lot of players money.
But the most important person he made money,
well, Dan Gilbert,
who kicked his back in as he walked out the door.
He was hurt.
Hey, listen, man, what you want from me? I made you X amount of millions of dollars over the last 7 years. Now I'm walking out the door to go get mine. Now you kicking me in the back as I walk out the door.
You know why? Because he was hurt because he saw the value of his franchise just plummet.
And then the other fans are burning his jersey instead of saying, thank you, LeBron. Thank you for putting in 7 years, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate how much work you did.
If I was LeBron, I would have got on TV and said, I already got the money from that sale anyway, so it don't matter what you do with it.
Well, he did say something sort of like that.
Yeah, that was that press conference, right? When he was like,
y'all just gonna go
I'm
back
still
to,
rich, and y'all going back to your
but I'm going to be good. I'm still going to be good.
Next question. That was rough. That was a ghost type comment.
You know what? But
I know ghosts enjoyed that one.
It was.
I forgot all about that comment.
So did I.
It was harsh, but it was true.
It is true.
It is true.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. The thing about that is that nobody wants to hear the truth.
Exactly. I wasn't mad at him. Like I said, I don't get mad at
truth
him.
hurts.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. You know, I'm a big Steve Harvey fan. Steve Harvey says, if you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that hollers is the one you hit. So you wasn't mad because it didn't hit you. Ghost, you wasn't mad because it didn't hit you. I wasn't mad because it didn't hit me.
That's true.
But the person that got mad when he said, you still me, you still you, and I'm still me, and I'm all right. Was like, well, wait a minute, my life ain't all right. Because, see, we are all right. We work for a living, we do our thing. Right. So we didn't get offended by that.
But also not just the work and not get offended, but, you know, we work and we all right. But also I don't want to say we settle, we come to grips, but we understand what life is. We understand, and we're good with who we are and what we're doing and where we're moving forward to. And for people that aren't,
it's difficult for them to come to that realization to say, damn, my life sucks.
That's like if I can't get an interview with somebody or somebody don't want to give me an autograph, I'm like, I'm good with it. Right. I'm like, okay, cool.
Right. I asked, you said no, okay, let's keep moving. Yeah. But see, that brings it back full circle, because that's why people don't like these athletes making money. My thing is, look, especially in football, get your money.
Especially as a running back, because your career is the shortest that I think almost every other position.
3.5.
So get it while you can.
And when they are done with you, you know what they're going to do? Pat you on the back and look for a younger, cheaper player.
And the funny thing is, the sad thing is that they try to minimize the value of a running backs nowadays. You can't minimize how important Bell is to the Steelers.
No, you can't.
When he got hurt, the last 2 years they were going to the playoffs. They lost. And last year he got hurt. Didn't start. Well, he's out for the first 4 games. They struggled. So every year he's proven his value. His problem is staying healthy
and staying on the field.
Yeah.
And see, that's probably what they're looking at and say, okay, you want this amount of money from us, and we obviously see that we're better when you're on the field, but we can't keep you on the field.
But like, you're one suspension away from a longer suspension.
Yeah.
And you know the crazy thing though is it's not just in sports. They did the same thing to my father, man. My father worked for a computer company. I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but it rhymes with Coracle.
Yeah, I know them. Larry Ellison, shout out.
I didn't say that. But the company, it might rhyme with Foracle.
Larry Ellison, shout out.
My father worked for computers
dirty, man,
since he was 22 years old. He knows as much, I would imagine, about anybody, about mainframes and all these systems and blah, blah, blah. 50 years, man.
Wow.
50 years in computers. They pushed him out of there, gave him a small settlement that he had to fight for because he was making too much money.
Companies do not care.
You know, I always tell Goody this: capitalism has no soul.
No.
Capitalism has no soul.
Bottom line.
It has no morals. If you're a true capitalist, the only thing you care about is the bottom line.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's the only thing you're supposed to care about. That's the system of capitalism.
The one sitting there who made a decision about people like in your father's position is some young kid
saying how we cut costs.
Sitting there crunching numbers.
Yep. How do we cut costs?
Wow, we need to keep our costs down on this. How we do it? Only way to truly cut costs if you're a business,
cut
if you
labor.
Can't get cheaper material somewhere.
Yep. Cut labor.
Cut labor.
Yeah.
Because if you get cheaper material, you affect the quality of product. Quality of product affects sales. Sales affects your bottom line. We got to cut labor.
Because if we
got
can get
somebody making
to
X
do,
amount, we could bring 2 people in for this.
there you
But
go.
You can't lay a person off and say his job is gone,
There you
and
go.
then hire somebody right back for that same position.
See?
So you have to change it, and then you bring in 2 people for that cost.
That's a man that's been in corporate America for 20
So
years.
I know the rules, and I tell you all the time. I know my time is getting limited. I know.
But isn't that crazy? You would think in this country we would value experience, we would value knowledge, we would value and bring other people up. And
They
see, that's
do to
why
a certain point.
when it becomes too expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sports is the great sort of, football has mastered this because they don't want to pay you early because, we don't know if you're
They
good.
don't want to pay you late
They don't want to pay you late because you're too old.
You're too much. and
You got about a 4 to 6 year period.
unless
make
you're
your
a certain position and certain people.
Quarterback. And now,
And it's because you pay the quarterback so much that, and I've said this before I even heard it being talked about with Kirk Cousins, and I may have even said on the show, when you pay that quarterback so much, what you have is haves and have-nots. What you have is
You create a disparity.
a tier system, like
Absolutely.
that person, and now you got that person over that. Again, understanding what it is, okay, maybe I should have been a quarterback instead of a running back. But the point is, you went to the skill set that you went to the position for the skill set that you were suited for. And I just think when you create that tier system within a team, yeah, you got people looking funky at other people when it comes times for contract.
yeah. I mean, because you looking at the guy like, wait a minute. How much they pay Drew Brees?
And
Shit. I mean, I'm out there hustling. I'm working hard like him too.
exactly.
I'm the one that blocks for him.
Exactly. If I was the O line, and see, that's what them quarterbacks know. They know they gotta pay out, get them gifts and stuff.
Get them
to that,
gifts.
to that O line.
And see, they give them
Get it.
carrots.
Like
we bought you 5 big screens.
Right.
And see, it's always
I'll
on
get your
TV.
Rolexes.
We got you 3 I don't want no damn Rolex. Give me my damn money.
Exactly. But the quarterback, he knows he can't give him the money, but he knows he got to keep them happy, because if
better.
they not doing their job, he not upright.
Yep. And it's crazy because football is like, they say it's the ultimate team sport. But is it?
No, because everybody on there, like Go says, an independent contractor. They out for
Everybody's
self.
out for self, right?
You have
I got to
to
look
be.
out for me because you know what? There's a man coming for my job. I can't be worried. But then how do you get those guys to play together? Isn't that the essence of why we enjoy football so much? Because we know how complicated it is. We know how difficult it is to get everybody to make sacrifices, with the exception of the quarterback, of course, because they don't make very many sacrifices, to protect this one individual who makes the powerful decisions on the field.
Because you get them everybody to play together, because collectively, if you play together, you're going to win, which is going to make you all look good, which is going to mean you're going to do better. Because if you all play individual,
It's not gonna work.
it's not going to work. But you say, look, like the Patriots thing is, and I heard the guy interview said, look, we just worry about our job. So they're working together, but technically they're not working together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're working for themselves, but they're working together because doing their job
makes
them come together.
right.
Does that happen now? Because I think about that. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
When I listen to you say that, I think about baseball more than I think about football.
Okay.
Because baseball is like, okay, if I get a hit and you get a hit and we all get hits, so we're all working for our individual stats that happen to collectively work together to make the team better.
Yes.
Which is it more prominent? Is it more prominent in baseball, football, basketball?
Working together? Or
No, working as
individually?
individuals that build the sort of team. Because you said in football, if we all work, we all doing our own jobs, but if we come together,
I think all team sports is basically almost the same,
I would say so too. I think
because you all have to do your job
Yep.
and collectively. Like if a ball's hit to the wall, the shortstop knows, hey, look, I got to be the cutoff man. The second baseman knows, so he has to do his job. But then you all come and you do your jobs together. It comes collectively as one unit.
exactly.
So I think it's the same across all sports.
Yeah, I think football is one big animal farm.
one big Animal Farm.
Yeah, one big animal farm.
Describe Animal Farm, because I remember the book, but I don't remember the premise.
Well, remember with Animal Farm, after they, like the Russian Revolution, after they took over, you had the pigs. You had Major, Trotter, and I think another boxer was the proletariat. He basically
Oh, she got
represented
fancy on this proletariat.
Yeah, the proletariat.
That's like a SAT word.
So
Yeah,
but
right?
basically what it is they started out saying everybody is equal. And the pigs were like the pigs stayed the pigs, he did the thing, and everybody was working together, everything was fine. But then eventually the pigs started standing upright. The pigs started wearing clothes. And then within the pigs, you had some people, and again, when we talk about pigs, we're not talking about anybody being
right. We're just talking about animals.
Degrading. We're talking about the animals. Those are the characters
in the book, right?
Major, and it became, and there's definitely a thing about Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin.
Okay.
Major became the one that stood out, and they said, yeah, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Wow.
Type of deal. And Boxer, being the good team person, the proletariat, he got in there. He worked hard. He was always for the collective, for the thing. He worked till he died where he stood. Because he always went with, this is the collective. This was the collective. Mm-hmm. While the pigs got bigger and the pigs started standing upright and started walking on their trotters, and the people started noticing that. They was like, well, wait a minute. I thought we was all equal. Yeah, pigs say, yeah, we equal, but some are more equal than others.
I like that. And we're going to take a break on that note. We're going to come right back with Coach's Corner. Animal Farm Talk. We're going to talk more football. We got some Michael Vick comic. I'm going to go reread that book because I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, I need to learn more. We're teaching you here, folks. We're doing a different type of show. It's the middle of the summer. It's not a lot going on. So we're going to do couple of different types of shows. But we're going to have some fun. And hopefully you enjoy it. We'll be back right here on In the Game, WBKS1. All right, welcome back. You are in the game on WBKS1.com.
Yes.
Old dog sitting in the captain's chair. Shout out to Chill, Mr. Keep It Real on the grind on the Clark Kent. To my right, she is
Coach V.
To my left, he is
Short Fuse, a.k.a. The Ghost.
Great debaters in the building. And you know what time it is? It is time. Hold on. It is time for Coach's Corner.
Huddle up. Time to get in the huddle. All right. Today I want to talk about very quickly the Michael Vick comments about Colin Kaepernick. And if you were watching any of the sports shows, especially on Fox Sports 1, that's where Michael Vick was. He first made his comments on the Undisputed Show with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. And then he went on to the Speak for Yourself with Jason Whitlock. I know how you feel about him.
Let's play a couple of those comments.
Why not? Go ahead and do that.
You got to go.
Let's let the people know what we're talking about.
Let's go with that one.
Mike, you went through a situation where, for lack of a better word, toxic, coming out of prison, a lot of controversy around you because of the dog fighting deal. Tony Dungy wrapped his arms around you and helped get you back into the NFL. That's what I want to see from Colin Kaepernick, a football person, him get involved with. And I think he needs to actually talk and put his name on what he feels about the NFL and wanting to play. I think he needs to speak for himself.
I think he really does. The first thing we got to get Colin to do is cut his hair. You know, I mean, listen, I'm not up here to try to be politically correct, but, you know, even if he puts cornrows in it, I don't think he should represent himself, you know, in that way in terms of, you know, just the hairstyle. Just go clean cut. You know, why not? You know, you're already dealing with a lot of controversy surrounding this issue.
That's a fascinating thing to hear you say, Mike.
That he needs to do is, you know, just try to be presentable. I mean, look, all the social media stuff that he's doing, look, we get it. We understand it. It's time for, you know, Collins to step up in a different way. And, you know, I think primarily the reason why he's not signed to a team right now is because of the last 2 seasons and not being as productive as everybody, you know.
Let me just ask you a question, because I kind of chuckled when you said he had cut his hair, because I just thought you didn't like the hairstyle. But you're actually saying that it represents something.
Yeah, I just think perception and image is everything. And listen, it's not the Colin Kaepernick that we've known, you know, since he entered the National Football League. And I'm just going off my personal experiences, but listen, I love
Coach V.
All right, so those were his comments, and he said a little bit more, and some people offered comment. I will say this. I didn't have a problem with Michael Vick said, only because I kind of saw where he was coming from.
Okay.
And it has reminded me of times of when even I was moving through my professional career moving. And, you know, you see me with the hair, I got the nails, the jewelry, even though I have less jewelry than I ever had. Okay. And they were always like, yo, V, you know, you're going to have to change this up. You're going to have to stop this. You're going to have to get rid of that, you know, only because this is where you're moving into and this is what you're doing. And I remember growing up and, you know, they was like, get a haircut, hippie, and all that stuff. So I understand that perception does matter. How people see you or what they view about you does matter. But I do not see, and I talked with the hairstylist about this, and a person who is not my girl, Ayantha, shout out, and who is not a big sports fan, but she's very much follows Colin Kaepernick and what he has been doing. Okay. I asked her what her thoughts about this was, because hair plays a big deal in her, and not in just her life, but just her profession.
Okay.
And she said, you know what, hair should not matter. It doesn't matter. She said, because he has not broke any laws. The only thing he has done is try to bring awareness to the injustice or the unfairness that's going on with his people. And not just his people, but you can say the voiceless and things of that nature. Okay. So why should it matter? And I said, you know what, that is a good point too. But I think what Michael Vick was trying to get to is that I looked at, let me take it back. I looked at all 32 pictures of the current quarterbacks. Black and white, and they're all clean cut. You know, they may wear beards and stuff like that, and they may look a little scruffy here and there. She said she couldn't stand Drew Brees with those greasy bangs that he had, but they were all pretty much that same kind of clean cut look. And I was just, you know, telling to her, you know, when you are considered that CEO of the team, that face of that franchise, you can't be seen as the militant black man. I'm sorry, you just can't. So the message that he may be trying to get may get lost in that perception of what that afro and what that thing may signify to other people. And it's not his job to make other people see, you know, beyond that, but you just have to have an understanding that it may be something there. So that's why I didn't go hard on Michael Vick, because I wanted to look at the nuance and not just whatever. And I see you pulling up pictures of Luck and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, we all
that's clean cut.
But you know, like I said, but I looked at them, and I also looked
Brett Favre was clean cut when he was a pillhead.
I look again, not talking about what they did and their stuff that again wasn't right and things of that nature, but just going by what the perception is of what you. And again, you say don't bring race into it, but I've always known that if I want to look a certain way, that's fine, but I have got to understand that my look that I bring in is going to say something about me before they even get to know me. And do I want my look to speak for me, or do I want me to speak for me and my talent? So therefore I have to listen, you can say it's a double standard, it's whatever, it ain't fair. I get it and I agree with it, but I would just say I didn't tend to fall as hard on Michael Vick as some like Colin Kaepernick said he has Stockholm syndrome and something
He
like
does.
that.
Michael Vick, he had an image he needed to clean up.
That's correct. He absolutely had a.
Colin Kaepernick don't have an image he needs to clean up.
He don't.
He didn't do nothing wrong.
He didn't. And
the problem is that he's bringing awareness to something that nobody wants to face.
Agreed.
Because God forbid you speak out against cops killing innocent people.
Agreed.
Killing people who are unarmed.
But I just think there's something in research he's talking about switching. It's something that people of color tend to have to do depending on what where they are in terms of like and you know, I'm sure I can't speak for you, but you may have had to do the switching type of thing as far as like how you are
Explain
when you're
what you
here.
mean by switching to our audience. Some people may not understand.
Switching means that as a person of color, that when you are in public, I'll just say public with air quotes, there's a certain way that you have to behave, you have to talk.
Let's just be fair.
You have
when
to
you're around certain folks,
right? When you're around
white
certain
folks.
exactly. And whereas when you with your home, with your people,
when you're with
your
black
boys,
folks,
your squad,
people that know you,
you can be another way. You can even talk. You can talk a different way.
Me
so
in corporate America.
Yeah, in corporate America.
Now I'm showing him a picture of me at my job in corporate America.
That is ghost.
Afro and an Allen Iverson jersey.
And that's great. And
that's
some,
that is typical you. Why am I not surprised?
And some companies may allow for that, but I know that all companies don't, and all professions.
Listen, let me tell you something, and I understand, and I don't disagree with you largely.
I know there's some disagreement.
We all have. Most people have. You know, if you're going on a job interview, you're going to present yourself a certain way. You're going to speak a certain way. You're going to get a haircut if you have hair. I do not have hair, but I know if I have someplace important to be and I want to present, so I'm going to shave my head. I'm not going to go in there with 3 days of unshaven head. Hell, I shave my head every damn day. That's just me. I shave my face every day. That's just me. Because, you know, when I do certain things, I know people are looking at me and making judgments on me because of this color of my skin. That's a them problem. That's not a my problem. But I have to deal with the ramifications of that in some areas.
You have athletes who have tattoos up and down their arm, tattoos on their neck. They got beards that hang out here. They got dreads that hang down. They got long flowing blonde hair that hangs out of their helmets.
Yeah,
nobody's telling them to clean up the image.
Nobody's told.
Because they're not speaking out against a racial injustice.
I would agree with that, but I also say is that those, and again, Andrew Luck, yeah, he's scruffy, blah blah. I get that. Clay Matthews was long, but when I just say, I'm just looking at the position that he's playing.
So you're saying
like
that,
I look at Russell Wilson, I look at Jameis Winston, I look at Cam Newton, and I look at Tyrod Taylor, and the only other person who I guess would say jump to the other side in terms of like presenting a specific look would be RG3. And even then, I heard people, not just white people, but black people talking about, boy, he need to get that hair
because his braids were terrible.
That's true.
Well, yeah,
they were
just
too
look
thin.
bad. They just look bad.
He just had a look. But again, you know, I get that. Again, I don't think that he did anything wrong, and I support.
No, it's not a question. Hold on. Let's be clear. Whether or not you think he did anything wrong, I mean, that's an opinion. He did not do anything wrong.
I'm just saying he didn't do anything wrong. He broke no laws. He's standing. He's protesting, doing what any American can and should do if they see an injustice.
And like Ghost always says,
is what I'm saying.
He didn't ask for the attention. He was minding his business,
right? And
they brought it to him.
Exactly.
He was doing it well before the camera first caught it.
Exactly. And
then you know, again, gets me. I hate to cut you off.
Let's go ahead.
And they thought, we see what you do on social media. Yeah, we get it. So him posting them on social media, he's doing these things, these charitable events. Now you're kind of diminishing it. But Mike Vick, when you wanted to go give your speech because you want to repair your image, it was all over. Oh, I got even talking to school and I'm doing all this because you know 30 for 30, whatever you did, you selling everything that you did. Don't diminish what he's doing because he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's giving money. He only have a job to give money to.
And see,
exactly.
Let me
and
tell
that's
you
another
this.
thing. Like, I think he is still like, even though people are trying to like, not trying, but people are, you know, marginalizing him or taking away for right now, as far as we know what's going to happen, taking away his ability to make money in the thing that made him the most money. He's still walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yes.
He's still walking the walk and talking the talk. My only point in bringing this up is that I saw where Michael Vick perhaps wanted to go, but this may not have been the time for that. But I also do see, because like I said, I've seen it myself, I've lived it myself, that where sometimes people are like, look, there's a message that you're trying to get out, but the package that it's in, you may have to think about it. And that's all that I'm saying is like, this is something that we as people of color do have to think about. It's not right. It shouldn't matter, but it's there.
But how do we
Ryan
correct
Fitzpatrick got a job and he got a beard like
a
Grizzly
friggin'
Adams.
like Grizzly Adams.
And his data is and his stats are terrible.
Here's my thing.
But
Here's
you
what
said
I
who,
resent.
Stafford? Do you say what? Who's Stafford?
His stats are terrible.
I'm saying
Talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, not Ryan Stafford.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, but then also Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
Oh no! Don't. They will never let you forget that he went to Harvard. He's Harvard educated, as if that matters as a quarterback.
Obviously, he don't make good decisions with the ball, so he didn't use
Damn
his education.
right. Now here's my thing.
I mean, hold on. They said teams were reaching out to Johnny Manziel
Before
Colin Kaepernick. So
what that tells me. Well, first of all, a couple things. Let me just jump in here for a second.
Go ahead.
A couple of things.
Oh, I'm done with that. Ready?
First
Break.
thing. Thank you, Coach V.
Thank you.
That's Coach's Corner, getting it out there to inspire us with another topic. But here's my thing. From jump, I resent the fact that they even brought in Michael Vick to talk about this issue. What Michael Vick was convicted of a crime.
He's a felon.
Michael Vick went to jail.
18 months.
He served time for his actions. Colin Kaepernick, all he did was say, hey, can you stop killing unarmed black people?
Exactly.
What does Michael Vick have to do with Colin Kaepernick? Because he goes, what a lot of people don't understand is they're trying to connect. The media's trying to say, well, Michael Vick and Colin Kaepernick about the same thing because they closely in line. No! These two are far into the spectrum.
Yep.
Michael Vick killed dogs. Colin Kaepernick's trying to save lives. They ain't even in the same ballpark.
He's trying to stop people from getting killed.
But why is Michael Vick even on these damn shows?
And he's too simple-minded to sit there and realize
that he's being a pawn in this game.
Yep.
And that's my thing. It's like
you got
to stop
Whitlock
it from jump.
there.
Michael Vick is not the person that should be talking about this.
He needs to sit up there and say how much he wants to play. He already said he wants to play. What you want him to do? You want him to sacrifice his first child? You want him to give you the first? Like what more? He said he wants to still play football.
I heard
he wants a chance
sports
to compete.
radio guys come on and say, well, he's got to do he's got to go contrite.
Contrite and what? And that's the thing.
Contrite and what?
He's got to. First, they said after he shaves his head, he's got to come out and apologize and say, "Well, I didn't handle this situation well."
What? Hold on. Wait. First of all, what am I apologizing for? I didn't do nothing wrong. And then I told about I gotta see. That's why when people come out and say and do these apologies, saying I didn't handle. Wait a minute. He handled the situation the way he felt he should have handled it. Which, you know what? You may not agree with it, but that's the way he did it, and that's the way he felt. That was what was in his heart and whatever. But either way, he didn't do anything wrong.
He should come out there. This is what Colin should come out there and say, "I'm sorry for asking the cops to stop killing unarmed black and brown people." Does that make you feel better?
I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry for asking for equality and equal justice in this country.
I'm really sorry. I'm trying to teach
black youth
about their rights and help them live better lives.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I'm apologizing for you being offended for me trying for this.
Yeah, I apologize for giving money and suits and clothes to people
to help empower them,
so they can get jobs, so they can pay taxes, so they can help be.
I'm sorry, America.
I'm sorry.
Amazing.
I'm sorry that I'm trying to make black people better.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing. But we're equal.
Some animals are more equal than others.
That's
beautiful.
And them damn pigs walking upright.
There you go. Speaking of pigs. And you know what? NWA had a great song back in the day. I'm like, hey, listen.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and you always get somebody to say something. Not all police are bad. They gotta stop. We can't judge all police.
That's what they always say.
You know, and my reply is that not all black men are bad.
There you go.
Exactly.
And you make the same judgment that all black men are the same when you walk up.
And let me tell you something.
You can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways.
Cannot.
I stopped talking to a family member because he's a cop.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. Just to go, we're gonna take a little. Hold on, we're gonna take a
But
little bit.
now I will say this though. I do think we need more of us as cops.
Now hold on.
Who understand our who don't get the power to go to their head and start abusing the power, but that way you can have a better connection with your community and you can have a better relationship, and then things can possibly turn around. Not in my lifetime, maybe not in kids' lifetime, but eventually it can happen if we do have more who will cross that line.
I will say this. As an individual who tried to get in law enforcement, well, we won't talk about how long ago it was, but
we wouldn't be good friends now. Ain't that nice? Look how life works out.
Listen, I tried to become a New Jersey state trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd have been a state trooper myself because I wouldn't have done nothing. I would have just sat in the bush.
A lot of people
hold on.
A lot of people like state troopers.
Let me tell you something. It's not that easy. I went.
No, it's not easy getting in.
Yeah.
No.
Because you either got to be military, you come out of the military, you got to score a certain amount, you got to go to college.
It was a 5-round process. I was 4 rounds in, Ghost.
Oh wow.
5,000 people started. I was one of 200.
Wow, that's great.
They were taking 100 people.
They cut it down.
And I got to tell you, it was an interesting experience because I learned a lot. Number one, I learned that not all cops are bad. There were some good cops. And I would say, and it's weird because here, picture me sitting, when I did my panel interview, you go in front of an interview board, it's 5 state troopers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That could be intimidating.
I'd be scared. Intimidating would be walking into a room with 2 state troopers. Maybe 1. I was sitting across about the same distance. We have a table across from us, maybe about 4 feet. I got 5 state troopers staring at me. But let me tell you how it happened, right? So I go down to, I think it's West Amwell, New Jersey, right outside of Trenton. And I'm all suited and booted, right? I feel strong, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Got all my answers. I don't know what they're gonna ask me. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, sitting outside the waiting room, and guy comes out, Ghost. This dude looked at like, I don't know, like somebody bombed it. Like he just came out looking like, oh damn, like I don't know what happened. I was like he was just like shook.
He looked like he was in shock.
Yes, exactly.
PTSD.
Yes, PTSD. And I'm like this. I'm like, well, that ain't gonna happen to me. I'm good. I'm on this hop. I know what I'm doing. I walked in there, Ghost. I can honestly remember it vividly. And I remember because one trooper, who happened to be black, he asked me some questions. And I said, well, sir, I'm not exactly sure how I would handle that. I think I would have to deal with it at that time should those circumstances would arise. Because he was basically trying to push me into a corner to say I would arrest my brother. And I was not going to say that in good conscience. I just couldn't.
Good for you.
Because then I felt like, and these thoughts are going through my head like this. Like in a second, oh, he's trying to get me to say I'm going to arrest my brother. What are you going to say next? Am I arrest my mother? Am I arrest my father? So I just said, sir, I just have to deal with those circumstances if they arise.
I like that answer.
He didn't like
that answer. You're supposed to say, yeah, I arrest my brother if he broke the law.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to say.
See, you need to be a psychology major.
I couldn't say it in good conscience.
You got to be a psychology major. You got to answer the question that you know they want to hear.
I couldn't answer it. That's not who I am.
Or you could have said, my brother won't break the law, so I won't be in that situation.
They had some things. We won't go into that. But anyway.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, and he's like, he was ticked off. And I'm like, and they finished the questions. I walked out of there. I opened that door.
You was like,
I said, that dude looking at me like I looked at that other dude saying, well, that ain't going to happen to me. I'm like, get ready, buddy. It's going to happen to you, too. I've never been so intimidated and shook in all of my life. I walked out of there like, what just happened? And goes, Coach V, I swear, I thought I had been in there for an hour. I was in there for 22 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
Most intimidating. Every other interview after that, I'm like, what you do to me? What you gonna do to me?
I find that when I'm dealing with, even as a teacher, when I have to go into meetings and they want to ask me about, well, what would you do? I say, you know what? I follow the policies and procedures that are set forth by the Board of Education.
I should have said that. That would have been nice.
And I just leave it at that because
I just couldn't have done. I didn't know to say that. I wasn't sure enough.
You should have said, you know what? I'll just pull my gun out and shoot the car up. Ain't that what y'all do? Oh, my bad.
No, you know what? You know what I was thinking? Here's what my honest thought was. My first thought was, well, did I? Because, all right, let's keep it real here. My brother was arrested for smoking marijuana, right? Okay. Guy said, well, we see that your brother was arrested for possession of marijuana.
He said that?
Yeah. What if your brother is smoking
You
marijuana?
put your brother up there?
Yeah, they brought my
Oh,
brother.
yeah,
I mean, I know
because they
they
done
do a
did background checks. Everybody on his
I know
family.
they do a
So
background
that's
check.
why the questions will come to see how you gonna react.
And he said, well, what if your brother's smoking marijuana? And he said, just like, and you're a trooper. What are you going to do? My first thought was,
I'm going to leave the room.
how many times did I tell him to stop that stupid shit? And then, if I told him 2 or 3 times, yeah, I might lock his ass up.
You should say, well, first you said, I'm sitting in the room with him and he's smoking. My brother wouldn't put me in that situation.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, I don't think my brother would put me in that situation. You know what he said? What I asked you was, what if he did? What would you do? That was his comeback. That's exactly what I said. I said, I don't believe my brother would do that if I was a New Jersey State Trooper. He's like, well, what I asked you is, what if he did? What would you do? And I said, sir, I'd have to handle that at that time. I said, I can't tell you what I would do.
I said, Ashley, I would say, how much are you talking about? I'm not talking about a little joint because you're not going to jail for a little joint. I'll take it out and stomp on it like you do, like y'all normally do.
I was about to tell him, look, if my brother pissed me off, I might arrest him because that was my honest thought. I might have locked his ass up. But that's neither here nor there. That was at that time. I wouldn't lock you up, Jay. Don't worry about it, brother. You're good with me. But no, and where were we going? I was going with this point. But
It was the hardest thing you ever to do.
yeah, it was hard. And where did we start this conversation?
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Vick.
In interviews and all this and being presentable with his interviews.
I think, and yeah, you go in an interview. Yeah, I shave my head. I shave my face.
Right.
We all talk a certain way when we're around, as they say, sometimes mixed company.
I'm going to tell you
If
this.
you will.
As a person of color,
Yes.
it don't matter how clean cut you are if
True.
the person thinks about you in a certain way.
That's true.
That's the next
You could
thing.
be
That
in a
was the final
three-piece
thing,
suit.
right?
That's true.
Your hair, your line could be perfect. Your
Yes.
face could be clean shaven.
You can speak the
You can
proper
speak
English.
perfect
The Queen's
English.
English.
The Queens. Not the King, the Queens
I
English.
went to
It's always the Queen's English.
I went to an interview, and I sat across from 2 people, and it was somewhere in South Jersey. I can't remember the company.
Okay.
I knew my stuff because I'm not dumb.
Well, nobody ever questioned that.
I knew my things, and I sat there and I'm looking at them, and I could just feel them looking straight through me.
Right. Like, they don't give a crap about
So when I
you.
got up and left, and I was talking to him, how do you think you did? I said, I'm not getting it.
Right.
He said, how do you know? I said, because they looked right through me like I wasn't even an individual.
Right.
I said, that's the feeling I got. I'm not getting a call back. I'm not getting anything. I know this. So no matter how you look, how clean cut you are,
Right.
if you're a person of color, if the person across from that desk or whoever's making a decision do not like you for whatever reason or already have an image or perception of you,
Yes.
it's not going to matter. Colin Kaepernick could shave his head down right now, low,
True.
and they go in there perfect. Their perception is set.
He could apologize for something that he didn't do wrong.
He didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
Because then
And
they're going to say, now you're weak because you're apologizing for
there you
something
go.
you didn't do.
So you can't win.
Right.
Because their perception is already set. And if you're going to sit here and tell me that Ryan Fitzpatrick's numbers are better than Colin Kaepernick's numbers, you're full of it. If you're going to tell me that Johnny Manziel, who hasn't played,
Oh,
he
my
played
God.
5 games, I think, in his whole NFL career, deserves the chance before Colin Kaepernick, you're full of it. You really need to check your racism at the door. I mean, really look at the mirror and say why you're making that sound. Because you can't logically say he deserves more.
I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, and at the same time, I see my mom. My mom, she be like, "Don't give them no ammunition." So her thing would be like, "You're right. That's what they might do. They'll probably look through you, and you might not get it because of that." But she said, "Let that be the reason they have to confront, and let that be the reason that they're gonna have to, deal with, like basically tell you, and like almost shame them into because when you're in there." You have given them no room for error
Right.
in terms of like why you didn't get it, other than it has to be, it must be because that they weren't going to give it to you anyway because you're a person of color or you're a
Right.
female, check the boxes, blah, 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 blah. Don't let something else be the reason. Don't give them that wiggle room.
Now, see, but here's
It's
the thing.
blatantly obvious with Colin.
But here's the
It
thing.
is at this point. It is obvious when you tell
Yeah.
me you're going to take Johnny Manziel. Oh, now
Yeah.
all bets
it's
is off.
blatantly obvious.
Or
all
you
bets
going
is
to tell
off.
me, Ryan Fitzpatrick or some of these backups that have been signed that we know everybody there. See, the difference is you can look at the objective numbers and say, well, look, objectively, Colin's better. What is the reason why he's not being signed?
In which case it becomes obvious that okay, it must be because of.
It must be because of something.
We don't want the
else.
distractions. He already said he's going. He's not. He felt.
And you know,
he
distraction
felt taken
is just.
but he even said he felt taken, and he has accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. It brought awareness, and he's made inroads with things from that stance he took.
Isn't
so
that just a
he's not
convenient
going to do
word?
that anymore. So no, but he already said that it accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. So he's ready to move forward and do other things.
But isn't that just a cop out?
Cop out for them.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
It's a total cop out for me.
Yeah.
To hear somebody say we don't want distractions. Okay, then don't be distracted. Focus.
Yeah,
Focus.
It is a cop out. It's what they're using. Like I said, smoke screen and distraction. Smoke
Right.
screen and distraction. That's all it is. So again, it's not right. It's definitely not fair. But I just think we, as people of, black people, people of color, whoever you want to say, I think those of us that aren't in Stockholm Syndrome, we realize it is what it is. And, how can you like I said, you can't legislate somebody's thoughts, their morality, or something like that.
And real quick,
So-
before we take a quick break at the bottom of the hour, do you think that Michael Vick is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome and isn't? Well, let me ask you that, Coach V. Do you think he's suffering from the AKA Stockholm Syndrome, if you will, which essentially means what?
Okay, Stockholm Syndrome.
It's feeling of trust or affection
you identify
felt
with
in
the
certain
person.
cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim
Exactly.
toward their captor.
Exactly.
So I guess what they're saying is because Michael Vick was arrested, he was in jail. Isn't that what it's designed to do, to break you down? Michael Vick has been broken into
Right.
a
I
shell of a man,
I
if
just
you
think
will.
Michael Vick is trying to
It
get himself
says-
a job.
It says the Stockholm Syndrome appears when an abused victim develops a kind of respect and empathy towards their abuser. It was named after a bank robbery in Stockholm when a group of bank employees were held hostage and developed a strong sense of empathy towards their captors. When this traumatic event was over, they even defended their captors by not wanting to say anything that might endanger their captors' freedom. This usually happens because the victim sees the smallest act of decent behavior as an extracted event, which makes them see their captors as essentially good. This way, they leave aside all the negative behavioral,
So they
things that
basically
have-
give a pass for all the negative
Right.
because they've done a couple of positives.
Right. You know what? I think that's a bit strong to say Stockholm
Yeah, that's what I was
Syndrome.
going to ask. I think that's a bit
That's a
No.
bit
aggressive.
strong. Are you-
little
It's
hyperbolic.
aggressive, but if you got to extrapolate who he's saying, the Stockholm Syndrome, who he's being acting that way too.
But
Right.
we've all gotten haircuts. We've all gotten a suit, to go to an interview, made ourselves look presentable in certain environments. So while I understand,
But would you sit on TV and say that he needs to do this?
no, I would not say that.
Yeah, I think, and I think
So
that's
that's why
absolutely
he's
would
saying
not
that
say
you're caving to them.
I absolutely, under no circumstances, would ever make that statement to Colin Kaepernick.
Because you know
needs
what?
to cut his hair.
Because then I would have said to Michael Vick, so it's okay for the face of your franchise to have 2 sexual assault cases against women, and that's who you gonna say the face of your franchise is. Is that worse than somebody having an afro?
ooh, there it
And
is.
really,
I mean, so
I agree.
we can go deeper and deeper.
Right, no, you're
so
right.
The afro to me is just irrelevant.
it absolutely is
It
irrelevant.
is essentially irrelevant, but I think
I get what he's saying.
Right, yeah, I think we all do, and I think that as people that have had to grow up, as African Americans,
Yes.
males and females, we have heard it, we have seen it, so we know from what it is. And again, it's just a matter of people being critically analytic enough, or using that critical analysis to say, you know what, the hair doesn't matter,
I agree.
and that we just need to focus in on what is really important. So.
I agree. Let's take a quick break, Ghost. Bottom of the hour. We'll come back. We got more to talk about, folks. Keep it locked. WBKS1.com.
In the game, we all trapped in the game. And if the rain comes down, I'm ready like a soldier. We all trapped in the game. We all trapped in the game. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. We all trapped in the game. We all trapped in the game. And if the rain comes down, I'm ready like a soldier. We all trapped in the game. We all trapped in the game. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. We all trapped in the
That was good. I thought it was great.
Let's get ready to rumble.
We gonna talk about that.
What is this, the Conor McGregor
We
thing?
gonna talk about that.
It's the Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather segment of the show. Oh my gosh!
Oh, please, let's
I
talk
listened
about
to Bomani Jones say for months that he didn't want this fight to happen because it was going to break down along racial lines. And yes, folks, we've been talking about race on this show, and that's just part of what we talk about sports. Race is a part of life, and we're not going to shy away from it when we feel we need to. Now, this Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. First of all, I'm gonna start with you, Coach V.
Yes.
Give me your general opinion, view, thoughts about the fact that Conor McGregor is getting into a boxing ring with Floyd Mayweather.
I think that, okay, it's a big money play. I think because obviously, what would make somebody go step so far out of their comfort zone into, another area where somebody else clearly is the expert? Why would you do that? So it clearly has to be a money play. It's the money thing. He's going to make that money. So, like I said, me. If you don't get your money, get your money. Do what you got to do. However, after listening to those 4 press conferences, at least the latest one that I heard, I was severely disappointed. And I'm all for trash talking and wolf tickets. I'm for the mama jokes. I'm for the roasting. I am here for it.
Well, then let me ask you this.
But that I heard, I was kind of disappointed.
What was the problem? Where did you get uncomfortable? Where did you get sort of like, okay, enough's enough? What were the comments that pushed you over the edge?
The comments, and it came from both sides. Like, for instance, I definitely didn't like talking about sexual orientation, calling people the word they use made for the use queer and stuff like that. I did not like that at all. I did not like when Conor McGregor said dance for me, boy. I did not like that. I did not like when he said, why you coming out here with your school bag? We know you can't read, type of deal. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that either, because I just felt like, how low are we going to go?
Yeah, they should have stopped it after the first one.
How low are we going to go? How low are we going to allow this to go? Because and we all know, we're adults, we know that, okay, this is the wolf tickets,
yes,
this is entertainment,
it's to sell the show.
But there are so many people that are going to hear this and that are not going to understand that, this is just for wolf tickets, this is just to promote and stuff like this. And they're gonna think like it's okay to be to talk like this, and it's not okay. It's not okay.
Let me play a few of the comments. Let me see if I can cue it up real quick. This is Floyd Mayweather in one of the press conferences.
Like, if you talk
like that, in London.
Yes, in London.
It's
the final full press conference of Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. What do you what Floyd has to say in this? So they're standing in the ring. Floyd takes the mic, Conor picks up the
other mic.
What is he saying?
It's that hard work. It sounds like hard work. Hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think I hear.
I am not a McGregor fan. I mean, I'm not a McGregor fan. I don't know anything about him. I'm not a Mayweather fan. I can't stand him. I think he's, I just have my own opinions about him.
Right.
Let's see if we get some.
Mayweather's the motherfucking name.
I agree with you on the fact that I don't
we gotta cut that. We not, because every other word it's cursing, and then when McGregor comes in, it's just.
Unless you get the one that was shown on regular TV where they bleeped out every other word. I mean,
now,
we know it's a show, and then they go all over the place and they do all this, and then it starts to go down. The first one was kind of entertaining.
Okay,
it was
the
second
one
fun.
was
like, yeah, go like, all right, now it's getting a little too much. Then when he said he said something about after the dance for me, boy. And he says, they bring us races. Oh, I'm only black from the waist down, and I'll show the black women this and that. All right, now you're crossing the line a little bit. Then Mayweather throwing the money at him. So he's out there with like no shirt on and a robe. So now he's throwing dollars at it. And I'm like, it's becoming a spectacle. I understand you trying to. you're trying to sell people on this fight when everybody knows it's not even going to be a competitive fight.
Right.
Now, if it was MMA, which I wouldn't doubt they might do. If Mayweather wins this fight, then all of a sudden they come back one and Mayweather jumps in the MMA ring.
I don't see Mayweather.
Mayweather's going to get his butt whipped in the MMA ring, but if they offer the right amount of money, I'd see him taking it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I know
can't see
Mayweather
Floyd
about
going
his
in
money,
there.
but Floyd ain't about to make himself be embarrassed, not to embarrass himself.
His ego is bigger than his wallet.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest
one
part of him.
thing
I think his ego will never allow for him to be defeated the way Conor McGregor would defeat him in an MMA fight. I find the whole thing garbage.
It's really terrible. And I saw an interview with Bernard Hopkins. And he even said it, and he's like, "Oh, what do you think his chances are?" He's like, "Come on, man." He said, "That's like somebody getting in the ring with me at 50 who's never fought professionally before."
Exactly.
He says it's not even going to be a fight. He said he's not trained for this.
Yeah, not a professional. You're not built for that. I just thought it was just bad, and just to see, and then like my girl Ayantha, who's the average person who, like, she's not into sports, but she'll tune her ear to such and such, to see what's going on. And you got people like that hear this and say, like, wait, is this what they do? And stuff like that. And for boxing to have the history that it has, and not just in terms of like the fighters, but in terms of the history has had socially, like the different groups of people that came to boxing or prize fighting, because boxing way back when, in the 1800s, even before then, when they did it, it was like a gentleman's thing. It was something basically Caucasians did to stay in shape, and it wasn't about prize fighting and money and that sort of thing. But then as it become a way for immigrants, if we want to start with the Irish that came over here, and then you had Italians, then you had the African Americans, then you had moved to the Hispanics that sort of got into it. It was always a way for you could say the lower class to make money to fight their way up. But it was kind of like stuck to that. And then for us to kind of go back to as far as I'm concerned, neither culture should really. We have so much in common, more than we have not in common. Right. That why would you want to talk about something? To me, I'm just like, you know what, you can say, yo, I'm gonna knock you out because you so slow and blah 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 blah, right, and this that the other. But why we got to talk about that and stuff like that? And Mayweather, regardless of what you want to say about him not being able to read, that man has made over $1 billion. And counting. He
is a very good market. He markets himself very well.
Right.
He made himself the villain, and it's smart, because more people probably buy his fights to hopefully see him get knocked out than people who like him because they know he's gonna win.
People love the black hat.
It's like more people who hated Howard Stern tuned into Howard Stern longer just to see what he's gonna say. So people gonna go out there to see, like, I want to see Mayweather get knocked out, so I'm gonna get it.
Ghost, if you were sitting alone and you had the money, would you buy the fight?
No.
Coach V, would you buy
not
the
a
fight?
boxing fight. No, I'm not seeing it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
not. It says
not.
ticket sales for Mayweather Pacquiao was $79.1 million. Projected ticket sales for Mayweather McGregor were $77.1.
Because you got a lot of MMA people. You're getting both fans now.
They say
that's not pay-per-view. That's just
the ticket sales.
Okay, wow.
They said Mayweather Pacquiao in May of 2015 had ticket revenue of $72.2 million by selling 16,219 tickets at the MGM Arena at an average of $4,451 each. If the venue is the new T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, there are 3,200 more seats to sell. Count on the fight selling out, but don't count on the average ticket price being as high as Mayweather Pacquiao. Since the event isn't a title fight, it might qualify as boxing, but doesn't qualify as mixed martial arts. The crowd will be sold on it being a spectacle. And I did not understand what Bomani Jones predicted this would happen. He said this is going to break down across racial lines.
Yeah.
I'm not going to root for Floyd because he's black. I'm not going to root against Conor McGregor because he's white. I hope they both punch each other in the head and fall down flat on their back and both get knocked out. That's not going to happen.
Punch him in the head.
But I know that. I'm just saying what my hope is. I hope they both knock each other out. Much like when the Patriots played the Giants, I hope it ended in a tie. That wasn't possible because it's a Super Bowl. I couldn't stand either of those teams. I didn't want either of them to win.
This is somewhat similar to that movie, The Great White Hype.
Yes.
I couldn't give a crap who wins this fight. I wouldn't give a nickel. If the fight was a nickel, I'd say it's too damn expensive for me. I ain't paying for it. Yeah. I don't care. If somebody happens to invite me over, if I'm not washing my hair, then maybe I'll go over. I don't know, but it's highly unlikely that I will take time out of my schedule to watch this nonsense.
Like,
I didn't watch any of these press conferences. I only happened to catch them when they were on Sports Center, and I was like, this is some dumb crap.
I was literally kind of like, turned off.
I was embarrassed for humanity.
I was turned off. Like, usually when I watch stuff, I have a straight face or whatever, or if it's something funny, I'll laugh. But my face was like this. I was like,
this is garbage.
I couldn't. And even if somebody said, "Oh, I'm having a fight party, come on over," but I can't.
Like I said, I'm not even sure I would go. I'm not even sure it's not worth my gas.
I know I would. Will I look and see what the results were?
Right.
Absolutely, I'm going to do that because A, I want to know, and B, I think I need to know for this.
Exactly. As sports commentators, we have a certain interest in it, but for me, it's really a joke.
I can't.
All right, let's move on to a little bit. Ghost. I'm gonna start with you on this one, Coach V.
Okay.
I've been hearing about this Vegas Summer League. What the hell?
Yes.
How much Vegas Summer League is baseball really that boring that the Vegas Summer League is leading off with Lonzo Ball talking about everybody's watching ball and which pair of sneakers he's wearing and blah, 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 blah. Talk to me about the Vegas Summer League.
Listen, I said it myself, and I've heard other sports commentators say it, and I was like, Summer League, it's almost like Allen Iverson, like practice. We talk about
so much stock in Summer League is ridiculous,
and it was just hilarious. And what was even funny, what stood out for me, what I found out to be interesting, like they gave him the MVP. They gave Lonzo Ball the MVP. Okay, I ain't gonna say he earned it. I guess based on his play, he earned it. He didn't even play in the final game, which Los Angeles did. They did win this Vegas Summer League. I guess shout out to them. Magic Johnson was there to accept the award and everything, and he was saying the Lakers are back, and I think
is that what he said?
This ain't even a Laker team.
He was there. He said it, and I think what the job that he is entrusted to do, which is build the Laker brand and get it back to where it was. I think he's having to do this sort of thing, and I'm like, all right, do what you got to do. But the point is, somebody brought up, okay, who led the Summer League in assists, and they mentioned all the people that they were, and I'm like, who? What? Huh? Are they still in it? They were like they mentioned the last two people who were MVP of the Summer Leagues, Vegas Summer League, and I was like, huh? Who? What? And I was just like, what? And then they showed a picture of Lonzo Ball, because there's only 6 games, and 4 of the games he wore the Jordans. He wore,
the reason
at no time did he ever wear. I think he wore the Big Ballers brand
he
one
wore
time.
He wore him the first game of the first whatever, and he had that bad game.
He ain't been back.
And then he says, "Oh, that's what it is when you're a Big Baller brand. You got the freedom to do whatever you want."
That's what his father was saying.
That's not how it works.
Who was I listening to? Somebody. It's not.
That's not how it works when you're building your brand.
Exactly. And somebody said. Really somebody was saying. They said, you know what? I just hope he wears a shoe that's comfortable. And when I heard that, I just fell out laughing because never would Michael Jordan once he had the Jordan brand or whatever. Never was he seen in anything but
Jordan.
He was wearing some Adidas.
You know,
like he gonna wear Patrick Ewing Adidas.
Exactly. That's like Steph Curry. Regardless of how you feel about his shoe, how he felt about his shoe, that's like Steph Curry not repping his Under Armour. How do you not rep your brand? You can't do that.
Oh, that gives us the freedom. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Because how are you gonna sell your brand to somebody else if you're not even wearing it?
Right.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Because that's what, when they talk about the streets is talking, the feet is talking, that's what the boys, that's what the little kids and the girls, the athletes, the basketball players are looking at. They want to know who's wearing that shoe. Mm-hmm. Is it in the game? Stuff like that. I can tell you one time I bought these pair of Jordans. This is when Kenyon Martin was still playing with this University of Cincinnati, the Bearcats. Jordan had these shoes. I said, Jordan, you done lost your mind here, but I bought in. He had the same pair, but one shoe was white, one shoe was black. One shoe was white. I bought that shoe because you know what? Kenyon Martin was on the line with them shoes, and I looked at him and I was like, I gotta get those. You know, the Cincinnati Bearcats. They're playing it and they're wearing it, and I gotta wear that. And that stuff makes a difference because I remember the one time, I forgot who was playing. It was an NBA, but he had literally came out his shoes, and they were like, "Ooh, that's not a good look."
You know what's funny is that now you heard LeVar Ball saying, "Who is De'Aaron Fox?" Everybody keeps mentioning De'Aaron Fox. He got to keep mentioning my son name to stay relevant because they say that Because they say when Lonzo didn't play when they played each other in the summer league, so everybody was saying, "Oh, he ducked them. He didn't want to play him again, whatever." And De'Aaron Fox was like, "No, I don't think he's ducking me. It's summer league. Everybody wants to play against each other."
Exactly.
So then LeVar was saying also, like, "Who is De'Aaron Fox?" You keep talking about that one guy. I was like, "You know who De'Aaron Fox is? He's the man who dropped 39 on your son's head and knocked him out of the tournament.
He cooked him.
Everybody knows who he is. So you're acting like Fox is a bum."
Well,
my
question
I'm saying, like, who is it? No, everybody knows him because he went number 5. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go as high as him, but they knew who he was.
Exactly.
Here we go. Hold on.
Who's holding the trophy up?
No, hold on. Let me just play a little clip of this. Hold on. Let's get a little sound behind it.
Coach Jud Buechler and the Los Angeles Lakers,
former
your
Chicago Bull.
MGM Resorts NBA Summer League 2017 champions. Congratulations.
That's Jeb Buechler holding up the trophy as the Summer League Lakers walk around in Victory in Vegas t-shirts.
To win the Las Vegas Summer League, and you did it by being hot from 3. Something you know a little something about from your time as a player.
Let me ask you a question.
How would you describe this journey?
Is celebrating
It's just been amazing. I think from the start of training camp, all these.
Let me tell you something.
Celebrating a NBA Summer League 2017 championship, is that corny or cool, Ghost?
Corny.
Let me tell you something. When Becky Hammond won, when the San Antonio Spurs won the Vegas Summer League, Becky Hammond was the coach.
Okay.
She won that. This wasn't going on. I can tell you, like, this
really?
was not.
So wait a minute. So you're saying there was no trophy presentation? Is that what you're saying?
No.
And see, that's my thing. It's like, wait a minute. A trophy presentation? Hold on. Let's get a little bit of Magic comp. Let me hear what Magic has to say.
But you know why we had to try the pro? Because Lonzo Ball was.
That's what I'm saying. Is this about Lonzo Ball? Hold on. Let's see what they have to say.
Well, he is repping the Big Baller brand thing on there. You know, he's not wearing the Adidas like everybody else. So
let's see what Lonzo Ball has to say about this.
He pulling a Michael Jordan move like what he did at the 92
my
Olympics.
Battery's going dead on my mouse. Hold on. Let me get this. What's up this swag computer you got me using? Queuing up Lonzo Ball.
I never have an issue with it.
Yeah, that's my mouse. The battery's dead. Hold on.
It's your Mies.
Yeah, it's my Mies. I want to hear what these cats have to say. Either that or it's the internet. I don't know. Yep, I got killed on the internet, of course. My time is impeccable. But they're interviewing Lonzo Ball, and he's got the Big Baller brand. So do I. I want to hear what he has to say. We'll cue it up in a second. We got a little more time. But what could he say? I mean, it's meaningless. It's like preseason. You know what I mean? To me, it's meaningless
because you're playing against players
who are not going to be in the league.
Most of them aren't going to be in the league.
That's not even a team.
You have a couple of people that's going to like when he had a triple-double against the Cleveland Cavaliers team, right? And the funniest part of the guy saying it, yeah, he had a great game. A triple-double against players is probably not going to make the roster. So I'm like, okay, he's doing well. I mean, like, you're putting too much stock in Summer League.
Summer League MVP.
Get out there, get in the flow of it. Just get the leg back under you. Ain't played basketball in a while. Getting you ready for training camp and preseason and stuff like that.
I'm going to tell you what's more exciting. The Big Three.
You know what? I was listening to the Big Three tournament last night.
Did you watch it in Philly? I
haven't seen it yet.
Did you hear Dr. J? Oh my God!
I heard Dr. J do an interesting interview with Allen Iverson.
Iverson can't play. His doctor told me he can't. He played the first game, but I don't know. He said he did a thing on his Instagram saying his doctor instructed him not to play, so he's going to be there coaching, but he can't.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said that the doctor instructed him not even to go. They said it instructed him not to go to the arena, but he went anyway. But what I like about the Big Three, so they give you about 4 games you can see.
Okay.
Gary Payton was coaching one, and I thought it was really cool and interesting to see how these guys, especially like a person like a Gary Payton, who was very successful, take that expertise and that experience and bring it in the coaching ranks and see how they act. So I think that's really cool. I like seeing Abdul Mahmoud
Rauf Chris Jackson, former
Chris
Jackson.
He is lighting it up. I just think it's funny. And Dr. J, he was so funny. He said the ref called Carrie. He said, Carrie, you call it Carrie? He was like, everybody carries. The whole league carries. How do you call that? Who doesn't Jerry, I fell out. I said, Dr. J, you are my new favorite. I mean, literally, I was on my couch. I was on the floor. I
think that's interesting because as I was listening to it on the radio, I'm listening to Rick Mahar saying, get a pick. Yo, come on, man. What y'all doing? Like, it's like you hear real basketball the way it was meant to be instead of the sanitized version of basketball that we so often see when we're watching on regular network TV. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. So it's the basketball. It's like it's the sound of it sounded more familiar and more real to me than anything I've ever heard in the NBA. Because you know what they say? They often say, if you could hear what players say,
you would. Ears.
In the like if you sit in the first row of an NBA game, that they can't even put that stuff on air because cats be, you know, it's a lot of cussing and stuff going on, but that's real basketball.
That is real basketball.
So and then in the timeouts, Rick Mahomes like, "Come on, man, what y'all doing out there? You gotta move the ball." Like, come on. I'm like, all right.
I heard Gary Payton. He said, he's like, nah, man, you're not doing what you got to do. So I need to call a timeout, give you some rest.
Right.
Is that? And I was like, coaches say that's like real. I'm like, oh my God.
That's what I enjoyed the most. That's what I enjoyed the most is the sounds of it.
You got to check it out. It is so much fun.
I'm still trying to pull this cue. I'm almost there. I got it. Hold on. Let me see. I want to hear. I got to get this Magic comment on because I just want to hear what Magic has to say.
It's just so much fun. Like Charles Oakley, he coaches. So to hear him what he said, I mean, it's
Wait, Charles Oakley coaches?
Yeah, he coaches.
Oh, that's scary.
That is absolutely hilarious.
I love to be coached by Oakley though.
I'd be scared to be coached by Oakley. You'd be like, yo, man, what you doing? Boom, punch you in the chest. Sorry, coach. Hold on. We're going to get the sound for let's see, Magic coming up right now. The trophy presentation to the LA Lakers, the 2017 NBA Las Vegas Summer League champs. Here we go. Great Magic Johnson.
I want to see Jerry West.
Right? You took over the reins to bring relevancy back to the Lakers. How's the first ever Lakers Summer League title for a start?
Well, it feels good. When Rob and I took over, when Jenny Buss hired us, we strive for excellence. We wanted to talk about doing things the right way. We wanted to talk about winning and building a winning tradition. And it started with these young men tonight winning the Summer League, and then it has to carry over to our summer workouts, and then in the training camp, exhibition season, and then in the next season.
And see, so that's what I was going to ask you, Ghost, because as I thought about it, I say, how much of this is important to building a winning tradition, a winning organization, to get these young guys out there to say, hey, look, this is where it starts. It starts here. It starts now.
You know what matters? How many people on that team are going to make the Lakers?
Maybe two, maybe three.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
The only way I would disagree with that is because when the people that are on the team that are still under contract said, we're texting them and say, oh, I can't wait to play with him. I can't wait to play. I like the way he passes.
Okay.
And it gets them excited. Then I can say, okay, well, this is what that does. But you're right. It's not going to make a difference until training camp.
Because passing in summer league against players who basically passing against college kids who are trying to make a roster, who probably won't make the roster, is a lot different than passing in preseason against NBA ready players.
That's true.
Who got
speed of the game.
Yeah.
Passing against Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Or trying to get a pass over
Paul
Kevin
George,
or
Kevin Durant, long arms, Steph Curry.
Against people who are trying to keep their career open, who paying for a paycheck.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm not just out here playing for summer league.
Like you try to get that pass
I'm playing
by
for my
Kawhi.
career.
Right.
Yeah, try to get that pass by Kawhi. Try to get that pass by LeBron.
And then get on the other end and try to stop them.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
like
that's a great point.
You know what? Because he plays point guard. The minute I see LeBron steal a pass from him and LeBron is motoring the other way and he the last one, but he
gonna make a business decision.
Right.
He's the
only thing between the basket and him.
Down before I make change.
He gonna turn the other way
on him.
He gonna do it up and turn around, walk the other way.
Exactly.
Like don't even try it.
Let's see what's going. And like I said, I like LeBron. I respect what he does. But listen, if I see him coming, I don't care how much. I'm like, yo, bro, you got this.
260 pounds.
That's a linebacker.
At 6'8", 6'9".
Going downhill.
And real quick before we wrap up, WPKS1 in the game. Talk to me. I'll go since you're the Cowboys fan. Talk to me about Zeke Elliott. What's going on down there? I mean, do we have a problem as Cowboys fans with Zeke?
Nope. 21 years old. He went to a club. Somebody punched somebody. He was hanging with sketchy characters, they say. Picture came out. He's sitting there with Dak Prescott and some other guy. So why wasn't Dak hanging with sketchy characters as well?
Because Dak was not the one that got in trouble, though.
But Zeke didn't punch nobody.
How do we know that?
You had a bouncer who stood there, said somebody from behind Zeke punched him.
Okay.
That he didn't throw a punch.
Coach V.
And mysteriously, the person who filmed it didn't get the punch. He just got the guy on the ground. But he said he saw Zeke punch somebody. But you didn't. You wasn't filming when the argument started.
That's the same thing that happened with Darrell Revis with that thing when
So-
the guy
so,
said,
yeah.
said he punched out 2 people.
So cut it
But
out.
why do things keep circling around Zeke? You got the pulling up the lady's shirt. You got a domestic violence charge. Now you have a potential fight.
It was never a
just
domestic
doesn't
violence charge.
Well, a domestic violence investigation.
It was no investigation by the league. The police are over it because they said it was nothing.
And
to be
see, that's
called
the other
charged.
point that I have. When did the NFL become more powerful than law enforcement? Sick of it. So we'll end the show where we started. My hatred for the NFL.
I will say that the NFL doing what they do, and I don't necessarily agree with everything they do, but
I'm sick of it.
But when you say the Shield, nobody is bigger than the Shield, and you are that heck bent on making sure that your Shield stays as the way you want it to, regardless of what the cops say, you're going to do whatever it is you feel you have to do. Like I would tell my kids when they would get in trouble, and the principal would come to me and say, oh yeah, we talked about it, it's all good. And then I wait till the principal leave. I say, okay, fine. And then as soon as that principal leave, I snatch him up. Look here. I said, look here, you may have got away from him, but you ain't going to get away from me.
But wait a minute.
And that's what the
But
NFL is saying.
they're walking a fine line, NFL.
How is it?
Exactly.
If you suspend them and there's no charges,
That's
there's
right.
no
I'm
proof,
suing you. I'm suing you.
And then you find
I'm suing you.
Now you're setting up other players.
That's right.
For anything.
And see, that's my thing. What kind of crap union does the NFL Players Association
if
have
you haven't came
to
up
allow
with,
them?
If you haven't came up with anything in a year,
what are we talking about?
How long do you have to investigate this? Is the cops didn't even take a year?
I know. I don't
Like,
think
what do you think is going to pop up in a year? Like, make a decision. Like, due process.
I don't
Thank
think.
you. At some point, you got to let
Like,
it go.
it shouldn't be hanging over. And I'm not just saying because he's a Cowboy. It should not hang over a player's head for a year, not knowing when the hammer's going to drop.
Right.
I agree.
I don't think that the NFL is going to do anything because of what you said. It's like I think they realize that they do have to walk a fine line about what it is they're going to police and stuff like that. What I think is I'm thinking that the NFL is just waiting for enough time to pass and they're going to try to let it go. But I think what Ezekiel Elliott isn't helping himself by getting into other situations, whether he did it or not, just being in those, because it's just like, somebody's like, yo, I'm trying to let this go, I'm trying to let this sweep on the run, but you keep pulling this up because you keep acting up. Like, just be calm, be cool.
Just sit down for a minute. Go somewhere and sit down and mind your business. All right, folks, we appreciate your time. We know it's a fast show. I had a great time tonight. Glad to be back. We will see you here next week.
Yes.
Sometime between 9 and 9:30. Please keep it locked. Check us out on Twitter. Ghost, what's your Twitter handle?
At Ghost BKS1, I believe.
I think that's what I hear.
I don't even know. I don't even tweet myself. I don't know.
Mine is at ODogWBKS1. Coach V.
At Veronica L. Harris.
We got a lot of new exciting things coming up.
At Ghost BKS1.
At Ghost BKS1.
That's all my handles. That's everything. That's my
right.
Instagram. That's my Twitter. That's my Snapchat.
All right, check us out. And as we always say, you cannot play the game unless you are in the game. Good night, folks.
Reading is fundamental.